Hello, it's Keith from Kinvert, and in this video we're going to be going over linear equations in general form. So a general form equation for a linear equation is ax plus by equals c. And it's important that a is not 0 and b is not 0. Alright, so this is a little different from the other forms we've seen. The other ones are named point-slope form and slope-intercept form. We're just going over the general form here, which is ax plus by equals c. So the equation that we're given is 3x plus 6y equals 12. And what we want to do is graph this equation. Now, if you want to graph an equation, you need two pieces of information. You could have like a point and the slope, or you could have 2 points. You could have the slope and the y-intercept. In this case, what we're going to be getting is two intercepts. We're able to get both the x-intercept and the y-intercept directly from this equation. So first, let's go ahead and get the y-intercept, because that's the one that we tend to work with here. So to get the y-intercept, what we're going to do is put a 0 in for x. So we're going to be saying 3 times 0. So we're going to start off by getting the y-intercept. And the way that we're going to do that is writing the equation. We're just going to be putting in a value of 0 for x, because that's the point at which this equation is going to cross the y-axis. And so if we rewrite this equation, we've got 3 times 0 plus 6y equals 12. Well, that makes this pretty easy because this whole term is now 0, and now we just have 6y equals 12. And if you remember from before, the way that we can do this is we isolate away any constants. There are no constants. We're just left with coefficients, so we're going to isolate that away. We divide both sides by 6, and what we end up with is y equals, 12 divided by 6 is 2. So the y-intercept, which we will draw in this purple color, is going to be at y equals 2. And notice that this is where x equals 0. So now let's go ahead and do the same thing, but we're going to do it with the x-intercept instead of the y-intercept. So I want you to take a moment and try to think of how we would do this. How would we set up the equation, and what is that x-intercept going to be? It's going to be a similar process to this. So please hit the K button, the K key, to pause the video, and here comes the answer in 3, 2, 1. So what we're going to do is write this equation, and we're basically just going to say 3x plus 6y, but in this case, we're going to set y to 0, because at y equals 0 is the point at which this line is going to cross the x-axis, and that will be the x-intercept, and this equals 12. So now we want to isolate x. We've got the equation 3x equals 12, and like before, we want to isolate away the coefficient. So we divide both sides by 3, and now we're able to start actually getting the value of x. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we have 1x. So x equals 12 divided by 3. Let's see, 4 times 3 is 12, so x equals 4. That is our x-intercept, and I'll draw that here in green, so x equals 4. There is our x-intercept. And now to graph this line, I'll graph it in orange, I guess. To graph this line, we're going to take our ruler and set it up so that we're going through both of these points. So there's the first point, there's the second point, so through the y-intercept and now through the x-intercept, now we can draw our line. And that is the graph of the equation 3x plus 6y equals 12. This is the general form of a linear equation, ax plus by equals c, where a is not 0 and b is not 0. We can get the x-intercept by setting the y value to 0, and then we solve the equation for x. And we can do the same thing getting the y-intercept, and we do that by setting x to 0, and then we solve for y. And so let me circle both of these. I'll do light blue. So this is our y-intercept, this is our x-intercept. We take those 2 points, draw them out, and then we draw a straight line through the 2, and that is how you graph a linear equation that's in general form. So this is Keith from Kinvert. We've got more videos like this coming, so please like and subscribe. If you have any questions at all, please let us know in the comments below and we'll get to you as soon as we can. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.